Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest millionaires, billionaires, and entrepreneurs in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
There's so much more effort someone will give if it is not seen as the job, but the thing that they enjoy doing with their life.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
So I think oftentimes the thing that we're looking for is right there in front of our face. It's just disguised.
But I actually really believe that not telling creative people what to do is exactly what you should do with creative people.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields. David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.
Hour on health, because I have a saying, if you're healthy, you get as many wishes as you want every single day. And there's those wishes that coincide with the universe that provide what you want in your life or better, creating the longevity, the happiness, the worthiness, the wealth is all determined upon the number one non-negotiable in your life, which is your health. If you're not healthy, I promise you, you only have one wish. So let's grant as many wishes to ourselves as we can by taking care of ourselves and health and ourselves. I renamed ourselves, and taking care of those cells are very important through movement, exercise, meditation, nutrition, hydration, all the great things that we do for ourselves and ourselves. All right. Anyway, I probably have the greatest moderator and MC traveling with me all around the world. We're in San Francisco today. Hopefully you can join us at noon at the Westin St. Francis. We are doing a meetup. We're, I think, over 200 meetups in a year, which is incredible. Face-to-face, helping people, building a community like Breakfast of Champions of people that want to help each other and people that people can help each other. The exponentiality of what we are receiving and giving and witnessing is incredible. It's incredible. Anyway, speaking of incredible, we used to call him Slick Nick, but now I call him the Nick of Time. Nick of Time, are you here?
Oh, I am here, ready to rock and roll on this beautiful Friday morning. How are you, David?
Sorry, I didn't know you could ask me a question so quickly. I was taking a sip of tea. I am doing incredibly as well. Thank you so much. We've been traveling all around, 23 speaking engagements in 30 days. I feel like a orator rock star. Anyway, give us a setup, my friend.
Absolutely. It's been one heck of this week, to say the least. And I will go ahead and set the room here. Welcome, everybody. This is the Hour and the best to make the positive for the Breakfast with Champions. No place we would rather be on a Friday morning. And today's topic is actually going to be what I both David and my favorite, which is BYOQ. You bring the questions, David brings the answers. A little bit of hot seat coaching here this morning for a full hour. And of course, before we get started, number one, if you have
Good morning, everyone. It is, that's right. We're back online as well. It is the hot seat coach in the BYOQ. We're listening to Nick of Time. Here we go.
Friends, family, colleagues, anybody that we believe would benefit from this incredible conversation. And with that said, David, are you ready to get started with some questions?
Let's rock and roll. Let's invite our friends. Welcome, everyone. It's Bring Your Own Questions. I'll bring the answers. Go ahead, Nick. Who has the first questions here on any of our formats?
Absolutely. I have a very, very valuable lesson from you, which is when it comes to question, 0 to 1 is always harder than 1 to 100. So if you don't mind, I'm actually going to take the first question myself by asking you, like I said, it's been one heck of a month this week. And what is the most valuable lesson that you have learned throughout this week?
I can't remember. It is a week or a month. It's really interesting because forgiveness keeps coming to mind. And the lesson that I took away from this week is that forgiveness is a beautiful weapon. And it's the weapon that we should use most when attacked or attacking. If we could somehow not only help people find the light, the love, and the lessons and utilize gratitude and challenge them to be grateful, but the more grateful we are, the higher state of mind is forgiveness, and forgiveness is the most beautiful weapon. And so when you have anxiety or fear, when you are angry or upset or frustrated, when you have attacking thoughts, when you have a need to be offended, resentful, or guilty, think about the greatest weapon that you possess, which is forgiveness. If we could somehow have forgiveness be the first weapon, the first reaction, instead of the need to separate, to be inferior, superior, to have judgment and conditions based on fear and doubt. If we could base our judgment and our condition on fear, then there would be no dis-ease. There'd be harmony and joy and passion and purpose and profitability for all. Imagine if two people that didn't get along started out with, I forgive you. I pray for your happiness. Let's sit down and find the light, the love, and the lessons in this situation that has caused that friction, that dis-ease. And the other person, oh, no, I forgive you. And I too want to heal this dis-ease by utilizing empathy in order to facilitate an ease, a joy, a passion, a purpose, and a profitability that we can create by co-creating together in a trajectory of where we think we want to be or better. And every time that we get frustrated and angry and resentful and guilty and offended and inferior and superior to one another, forgiveness is a beautiful weapon. Replace all of those other interferences that you utilize as tools and weapons in order to make yourself feel good in the short term, which only exacerbates the interference and anger in the long run, and use forgiveness as a beautiful weapon. Those that can forgive the unforgivable are the most enlightened, and they live a life of passion, purpose, and profitability. Nick and Time, let's invite our friends. Thanks for joining me. I got a ton of questions. I'd love to bring up a guest here on the Breakfast of Champions if you have one.
Yes, sir. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. As you said, forgiveness is a beautiful weapon. And with that, I'm going to get over to Mike here, who just joined the state on Clubhouse. So, Mike, happy Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask David your question. Welcome.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome back to Cali. My question is, Dave, you've been talking about awareness in a lot of your content recently. So how do you drive awareness to your strengths and or weaknesses, and how do you lean into those?
There's 3 ways to be aware. We can utilize our intuition. We can utilize our intelligence. We can utilize our inspiration. Notice they all are within. In intelligence, inspiration, and intuition. And so we want to practice intuition, intelligence, and inspiration. We want to get better at, and the way that we get better at is through the practice of utilizing intuition to create awareness. Intuition is a feeling. I always say it resonates with us. And if something resonates with you, then elevate your awareness to it. For me, anything that resonates with me, I capture it. I text it or email it to myself. And then on Sundays, I have a folder that has lessons. And I go ahead and save all those and review them and then attach stories to them. So I remember, recollect, and reunite with them. And then I categorize those in 2 categories that they go, and I go ahead and email myself again, and I put both in 2 folders that now make them accessible. So intuition is a great way to raise your awareness and practice your awareness of what is important to you by the feeling of it. Intelligence. I am constantly being more interested than interesting. I'm looking into and being more interested on how this subject matter or category or topic or lesson is important to me so I can prioritize it today or in a future date. And utilizing my intelligence, I am finding more about it to see how it's aligned with, synergistic, supplementary to a trajectory that I want to be in, aiming towards something I want, not attaching my emotions to the outcome, because I also know that humans and human nature and human capability are not capable of understanding or knowing outcomes and evaluating those outcomes as they occur. It takes time. It takes time to understand an outcome. It takes time to know how an outcome is going to impact our trajectory or our aim towards what we want or better. And so being able to detach my arrogance of outcomes, detach the arrogance of outcomes, detach my knowing and understanding of an outcome, instead utilizing faith. I'm being protected and promoted even though I don't know why. How losing everything, how losing my spouse, how losing my job, how losing the deal, how a flat tire somehow is protecting and promoting me, but it is because I don't have the capability of knowing or understanding outcomes. And so I want to raise my awareness through intelligence as things resonate with me, being interested and interesting, doing research, finding the light, the love, and the lessons through intelligence, and then raising awareness even further beyond the feeling. I now can utilize thought, logic, thought to give meaning to that resonant, that activity, that outcome. And then finally, to raise our awareness, we have to utilize inspiration. And inspiration is your ability to identify that which is interfering with your potential. Inspiration is your ability of finding out and identifying dis-ease, and then solving, dissipating, and hopefully disappearing the dis-ease so that we can take advantage and maximize the omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source that unifies us through a system of thought, an abundant, infinite system of thought. And as we raise our awareness, we now have cheat codes because it tells us secrets that allow us to level up in our lives. So as we learn to love the activities in which we're participating in, as we learn to love perception that we're participating in, we are capable now of finding the light, the love, and the lessons, elevating our awareness, and allowing it to tell us all its secrets. And it's those secrets, those cheat codes that make life easy, not dis-easy. Too many people are focusing in on making their life dis-easy and then making themselves a hero by overcoming the dis-easy instead of taking a radically humble approach of making their life easy. by identifying that which makes them dis-easy. So utilize your intuition, how you feel, your intelligence of how you think, and utilize your inspiration to understand your beliefs. And notating, the more you live in an abundant world, an infinite world of everything for everyone, that more of your beliefs you're aware of or raise your awareness of its limitations. If you truly lived your life in abundance in an infinite world, then all of your thoughts and beliefs would be limiting. Now, instead of trying to unlimit your beliefs, you can go ahead and see which one of your beliefs are serving you best today in the aiming or trajectory towards where you think you want to be or better. If you want life to be easy, if you want the dis-easy to dissipate, disappear, or dissolve, then simply use your intuition, your intellect, and inspiration in order to facilitate living an easy life. It's so easy, it's breezy. Thank you so much, Mike, for stepping up the 0 to 1. Our first guest here on the Breakfast of Champions. We are in the first quarter, moving into the second quarter. We have in the nick of time. Go ahead, reset the room. We're here in San Francisco. We'll be here at noon doing a meetup. Over 200 meetups here. We have over 24 years of free Friday trainings. It's incredible what we're doing to build a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. Nick of time, go ahead and reset the room.
Beautiful. Like I did, just crossed over to the second quarter of today's Power Hour here with Breakfast of Champions. And of course, we are here with the one and only David Meltzer, but a little bit of BYOQ. You bring the questions, and of course, he brings the answers. As a reminder to everybody in the audience, as you have your questions for David, please use the hand icon to request to join the stage, or even put something in the chat. And of course, we will aim to bring you up. And of course, as well, let's continue to share this room with all of our friends, family, colleagues, anybody that we know would benefit from this incredible conversation. And of course, as David mentioned at the beginning of the hour, with 30 speeches in 23 days, or the other way around, I can't even keep track. If you want to meet with David and some of the upcoming cities that he'll be traveling to, such as Las Vegas next week, the following week in London and Portugal and Malta, or of course Las Vegas once again in December, all you have to do is email him directly, david@dmeltzer.com. And David, I say let's take another question here on Clubhouse, and then you can go ahead and take one from online. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Awesome. So I will pass the mic over to Colleen, who has been patiently waiting up here on stage. So Colleen, happy Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question. Welcome.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much. So my question is actually twofold, Dave. With all the travel you've been doing, you've been sharing the stage with some great. I'm wondering if there's a speaker that you could recommend, or someone that's resonated with you. And the second question is, if they resonated with you, was it because they challenged something that you've taught, or it's because they really reassure lessons that you've been teaching?
I love it. Yes, I've been blessed in, just in the last few weeks, from Tom Brady to Tom Bilyeu to Chicharito to Rene Rodriguez, to just amazing people. But I will tell you, it's not someone that's challenged me, because I would say, Tom Bilyeu is probably the most challenging, as we're close friends, and our perspectives, 80% of what we talk about, we agree upon, but the 20% that we don't, it's so enjoyable for me. Like, I believe in multiple lifetimes. He believes in one. That's, one of the challenges. But all of these speakers are incredible. Some sell tickets better than others, and others impact others better than others. But the one guy that truly stood out was a man named Chad Jagrin. And Chad and Nick, is that how I pronounce his last name? Because I'm the name butcher.
I believe it's San Chagrin.
Okay, I want to give him the respect that he deserves. San Chagrin, right? So Chad has an Inner Circle Mastermind group. He is a leader in his community in Orlando. He's good friends with Gary Vee as well. But Chad touched me the most. We're talking about intuition, intelligence, and inspiration. The speaker that made me feel the deepest, that touched me the deepest, was Chad. And what he did was that he stood up on stage and he told his story. We were at the Hyatt, and he told the story how he used to work for the Hyatt, and he used to wash dishes and be the support staff at the Hyatt. And we were on a stage, and he said, "Look, behind me is a wall, and there's a whole bunch of people behind that wall." And he said, "I used to stand behind that wall, and I would tell my boss that someday I want to be on the other side of the wall. I want to be on that stage. I want to be empowering others, to empower others, to be happy, to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of, I want to be on the other side of the wall." And the boss of his said, "Well, that's never going to happen." And for 20 years, he let that limit him. That limiting belief did not serve him. And there he was on the other side of the wall, on the stage, empowering others, to empower others, to be happy, to make money, help people, and have fun. He was now on the other side of the wall, and he actually had asked for the entire staff to come out from behind the wall so that we all, 500 people, could thank him. To thank them, I'm sorry. I was thanking him for elevating my awareness to all the people that we don't see, that create these invisible assumptions that they too enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit of their potential, that they too are listening from the other side of the wall to the speakers that have walked into that light to share it with others, but not only share it with others, but to liberate the others, share it with others. And Chad touched me the most, and it reminded me that though we had some incredible speakers over these last 23 speeches in those 30 days of October, that it was the ones that made me feel their speech that most resonated with me, that most moved me, that made the greatest impact on me. And although out of all those names, and there's many, many more, from the Silicon Slopes, Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, Gary Vee, Jim Quick, just to name a few, it was someone that most of us haven't even heard of in these groups, Chad, and repeat his last name, Nick. Sanchagrin. Chad Sanchagrin, who moved me most, that stood out the most. Because I remember what Tony, Dean, Gary, Bradley, Tom Bilyeu, Tom Brady, Teacher Reed, I don't remember what they said. But I'll always remember that I'm not only speaking out in front of me in that stage, but behind the wall. That there's somebody with limiting beliefs behind that wall that hasn't stepped out into that light to liberate others to step out into their light, and to reduce the 20 years by somehow touching the people behind the wall, not in front of the stage, changed me forever. Great question. I appreciate it. Nick of time, where should I go? There's tons of questions everywhere. Oh, go ahead.
I am 85.
Well, good. You got a long way. You got a long way to go before you learn something.
I'm a Jersey girl. I have learned a lot, and I am determined to be interviewed on this platform one day because I go forward. I have had so many things. I've written a book. I'm waiting for an Uber right now, and I have lifted up a bunch of Uber drivers. I've lifted up a bunch of people. I have lived. I have learned. I am growing, and there's no limit to anything that I can do or want to do. And I just think that people have to learn to live a life. It's your life. Don't sweep somebody else's front porch. Sweep your own. You're alive. You're alive. You're alive. It's a gift, and just do everything you can. Put your oxygen on first, save yourself, and then save the world. That's all I have to say. I have to get an Uber.
I love it. We will have you on and make your dream come true with that interview. So reach out to my team.
Prices paid or debts unpaid.
Very well. So email me, david@dmeltzer.com. We're going to have you on our Friday office hours interview. My team. What is your name so I know?
Jenny Perkoski.
Jenny Perskoski.
No, Jenny Perkoski. I own it. Ask Mr. Hyman. He knows me very well. I make him laugh and I make him crazy.
I love it.
I'll get in touch, but I'm getting in an Uber, so I can't do anything right now.
Okay, please do. David@dmeltzer.com. Our Jersey girl, we're going to interview her. I think she has a lot of nuggets, some great life lessons for all of us. You don't have to pay the dummy tax. Find someone who's sitting in the situation you want to be and feeling the energy of Jenny on the block getting in her Uber.
Yes.
Virginia, thank you so much. We got a lot of lessons to learn from the dummy tax that you've paid, the journey that you've walked and enjoyed. Thank you so much. All right, nick of time. We got Virginia in the nick of time. Now, who else are we going to get a question from?
Yes, go ahead and take a question from online, and then we will come back here to Kiana live on Clubhouse.
Perfect. All right, question. What is your advice for someone who wants to start a speaking career? Well, first, we've already gone over the most essential part of starting a speaking career, and that is finding someone who sits in the situation that you want to be in and ask them for help. Find yourself a speaker that is in a position that you want to be in. Find a speaker that resonates with you, that has the community size that you want to have, that steps on the stages that you want to step in, and ask them for help. That's the number one thing that you want to do. Ask them for help. And then 2, you want to understand what your essence is, because we want to be able to capture your essence on stage and go ahead and through people and know what they're listening for by what? Learning how to tell stories that teach the lessons that are most aligned with who you are and who you want to help. And as we codify, as I said before, I have my own mechanism of capturing the lessons that resonate with, attaching stories to them, categorizing them, searching them, working through them in simple Outlook so that they become searchable. Somebody asked me to talk about mindset or heart set or sales or leadership or scaling a business or raising money, whatever topics that I have learned lessons through my 55 years. I was a baby compared to Virginia. She's 85. Those are the lessons that we want others to learn to resonate with their intuition, intelligence, and inspiration. We want them to go ahead, share those stories as well, and be able to remember, remind, and recollect the unified, abundant, that it's the thought in which we all are participating in, and hopefully utilizing the beautiful weapon of forgiveness in order to facilitate getting rid of the diseasy and putting us into the easy. Awesome question. I appreciate it. Anyone that needs help with their speaking career, I know people that can help you. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Go ahead, Nick, and reset the room. We're almost at halftime. We're at the 2-minute warning to halftime. Go ahead, reset the room. We're here in San Francisco at the St. Francis Hotel with the Westin on Owl down at Union Square. We'll be doing a meetup today at noon Pacific time. Come and join us in person. We can have a lot of fun. More IOQ, some more Q&A, sign some books, take some pictures, introduce you to some incredible people. We're here with Ryan Serhant. If you're not familiar with him from $1 Million Listing or Sex in the City, he's the human Ken doll. He's an amazing human being, and blessed to have him as a friend and partner. So come and see Ryan and I here at the Westin, St. Francis in Union Square. All right, Nick of time. It's the 2-minute warning for halftime. What do you got?
I will go ahead and quickly reset the room here. And David and everybody in the community, just want to send lots of gratitude because even for myself, I am learning so many beautiful lessons on a weekly basis. So first off, shout out to David for, of course, always showing up and pouring into this community, and of course everybody in the community as well for their incredible engagement. And of course, this is the Power Hour with David Meltzer and the Best Room in Clubhouse, the Breakfast with Champions. As David said, today's topic is BYOQ. You bring the questions, he brings the answers, and we have an abundance of requests for questions. But of course, if you have a question and have requested to join the stage already, please use the hand icon in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, or of course, put something in the chat, and we will aim to bring you up. And whether it's the details for today's meetup and extended Q&A session, or joining David in some of the upcoming cities he'll be traveling to, or even if it's his guides, exercises, or his book, which he'll be more than happy to sign a copy, send a copy, and even pay for shipping. All you have to do is email him directly, david@dmeltzer.com. That's it. We will keep it live here on Clubhouse. We have the wonderful Kiana, who has been patiently waiting. So happy Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question. Welcome. Oh, Kiana, the mic button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, if you can go ahead and select that to unmute yourself. And if you're having troubles, we can, of course, always come back to you. It looks like she may be still having trouble, so I will kick it over to AJ Anderson, who has been patiently waiting as well. AJ, happy Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question. Thanks so much.
Hey, how's it going, Breakfast with Champions? Good morning. Tapping in here from Texas. Mr. David, I have a question. I do a Paradigm Awakening Mastermind every single Thursday, and I talked with you before on this platform. We were talking about how religion are 90% the same, and you gave a beautiful statement on how you have a Jewish rabbi in your family, and how you believe that we as people are 90% on the same page. My question to you is can I get you and Nick on the Paradigm Awakening Mastermind one Thursday in the future? I'm just trying to find a Thursday that will work in the future to plan a segment of how religion is 90% the same.
Oh, I love it. Yes, I will absolutely come on there, and maybe Nick can join me as well. We would love it to talk about what I call a best option faith. You know, I travel around the world and I challenge people to give me a better option. But the problem is everybody's believing the same thing, the same option, because it's the best option, that there's something bigger than us, an omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source that loves us, protects us, and promotes us more than our mom. And that's the best option I can think of when outcomes in my life occur that are not aligned with what I think I want, but yet they're better. I have been capable of being aware of, or knowing of, or seeing how exactly all these things are for my protection and promotion. The same way when somebody slaps your hand from touching something that's going to burn them and screams at you. The outcome of being hit and yelled at, if we don't understand that we're being burned, is going to seem like punishment. And so I challenge everyone, and I encourage everyone to join AJ and I on a Thursday when Nick and I can join him to talk about best option faith, and once again challenging everyone to come up with a better option. I have people all the time but do you believe in God? I said, well, is God bigger than me? Does God love me more than my mom? Does God protect and promote me at all times? Of course. Oh yeah, then I believe in God. David, do you believe in Jesus? Well, is Jesus bigger than me? Is it protecting and promoting me? Is it loving me more than my mom? Oh yeah, then I do. Do you believe in Buddha? Same thing. You could come up to me and say, Dave, do you believe in this pencil? And I could ask you, do you believe the pencil is bigger than you, omniscient, all-powerful, and all-knowing? Does it protect you and promote you and love you more than your mom? And if the answer is yes, then yeah, why not? I believe in, if you want to label that option a pencil, then I'm okay with it. Labels are for what? Shampoo, not for your source. So you don't have to fight with people about the label that you've given your shampoo. Just if the shampoo cleans your hair, makes it look healthy and soft and silky, then it's shampoo, whatever you name the shampoo. It's the best option to cleaning your hair. That's what it is. This is the best option of living your life with an omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source that protects and promotes you more than your mom. So creating dis-ease over something that's here for our ease is absolutely ludicrous and counterproductive and counterintuitive. That's why forgiveness is a beautiful weapon. Let's forgive everyone for the 10% and let's join them in the 90%. AJ, look forward to being on there. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com, if anybody wants Nick or I, we are available. We try our best to facilitate and accommodate through all of our shows, interviews, speeches, meetups, books, coaching, whatever we're doing. We've been doing training for over 24 years now as of October. And we're trying to pour into a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. Let's lift each other in the abundant, infinite, unified system of thought that we all belong to. Let's utilize forgiveness and gratitude as a beautiful weapon in order to facilitate coming together and get rid of the dis-easies and live in the easies. All right, Nick, who do I talk to next? Thank you, AJ. We look forward to coming on your show.
Thank you very much. Look forward to it. Email paradigmawakening@gmail.com to get your free spot. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Have a blessed day, every single one of you. Thank you,
AJ. Join the paradigm. Say it one more time, AJ, so they know where to go.
Yep, it's paradigmawakening@gmail.com. I actually put it down there in the chat, so you can email that, and I will send you all the details to let you know every single Thursday to be able to tap in 7:30 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Just like here on Clubhouse, we can all pull up and have our own free spot at the table, and all put in their 2 cents and their perspective. So thanks again.
Thank you. All right.
And thank you so much, AJ, for the invite. Again, make sure to email David directly, david@dmeltzer.com. And we will help get him all set and squared away for an upcoming Thursday. If you remember, or if you have time, feel free to CC myself as well, so I can help with coordination. And my email is just nick@dmeltzer.com. And David, let's go ahead and stay live here on Clubhouse. We have Justin, who is here and has a question for you. So Justin, happy Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself and welcome.
Happy Friday, Nick. Yeah, David, nice to see you. I mean, it's fascinating to watch over the last couple of years as we developed, a bit of a friendship. You had me on your podcast, and I've watched what you've done over the last 3 years, what you preach about the relationships and what you put out there, really attracting the right type of relationships has been fascinating. By proxy, actually, Ryan's a really close friend of mine as well, a personal mentor. So say hi to him when you see me. I think there's something I want to share that you shared about being okay with Tom Bilyeu and getting people around you that you can discover the world with, right? I was with one of my best friends yesterday. He's a world-class litigation lawyer, straight atheist. I'm a Christian, but we have complex conversations about what's happening overseas. And it is invigorating to find people like that. Now, the question I have for you is, as I get opportunities to speak and I get asked to be on podcasts, I'm finding that I'm very cautious about who I act to. How do you protect yourself from people using your name in ways that you don't necessarily align with?
That's so interesting. I had someone email me yesterday exactly about this and said, hey, you have this person on your email, on your show. Now, I've had 1,600 guests on the Playbook, which is my podcast. And in a shameless plug, if you haven't downloaded the Playbook, aired it or reviewed it, do it, even if the review sucks. But we've had 1,600 of the billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, and athletes and entertainers. We have Office Hours, the TV show and the digital show, and we've had thousands of guests on Office Hours, I think 3,000. We have a minimum of 12. Then we have IG Live, where we have, on average 3 people a day that come on as guests on our IG Lives and TikTok Lives. So, in all, there's probably 10,000 different individuals that we have interviewed and that now repost and repurpose content from those interviews, not counting all the stages, the meetups, etc. people once again. So in a matter of statistics, there's going to be 10% of the people are going to hate everyone. that are there. 10% are going to love them no matter what. And the other 80% will have their opinions. So you're going to receive, the more people that you are posted and repurposed with, more input, comments, and concerns about those people. But that is not who I am, right? If I go on your show, I am still me. I am not you. If you go on my show, you are still you, and I am still me. And those people that are not going to agree with the person that I'm being interviewed by or I'm interviewing, then they fall within a chart of relativity and bleeding that I don't need to be around. I believe those people that are going to attack me because I was interviewed by someone or interviewed someone, then I'm being protected and promoted, because that's not the type of person that I want to be around. That's not a person that's feeding me. I love, like you said, conversations with people I don't agree with. I love to interview people that I don't agree with, because I want to learn to appreciate the difference, not create a separation between me and the person that I don't agree with. I want to learn to appreciate the difference, knowing that 90% of what everyone believes is the same, and it's just the 10%. And are we going to focus in on what we don't want, what's missing, what we don't have, what we don't agree with? Or are we going to appreciate that and allow it to enhance what we do agree with? Once again, we can forgive them for the things that they've done, or forgive them for the statements they make that may not be aligned with your beliefs. And so I think it's really important to realize that when people attack you for other people, that those aren't the people you want to create or allow to suck your energy. That type of person is protecting and promoting you because they are around people like that who are attacking you with their judgments and conditions that are based on fear and doubt. And there's 7.6 billion people out there. And if a million people, think I'm an idiot, think I don't agree with me to a point where they're attacking me, that means there's probably a million people that love me no matter what, and about 8 million people who are interested in learning more. And I'm okay with that. And those numbers are, obviously rounded up or down in their percentages. But those people that aren't afraid of the million that are going to hate them are the ones who have 9 million in their community. Those people that are afraid of the million that are going to hate them have very little impact and very little community. It is the size, scope, and scale of the community that allows you to have people that will help you and know people that can help you. And I'm telling you, if you build the size of a community, you talk about the growth that we've experienced in the last 3 years, you've witnessed the millions now. I talk about community of people that help each other, know people that can help each other. Why is that important? Because a community that knows people that can help you and help you themselves and vice versa are a community of people that will buy from you for life and sell for you for life. Whether it's your ideas, your service, solution, your brand, whatever it is, they buy from and sell for you for life. And along the way, the bigger the community, the bigger the 10%. I'm going to repeat that because it is the strategy in which I execute on to build my community. The bigger the community, the bigger the 10%. The bigger the 10% of the people that are going to hate you no matter what, and the bigger the 10% that are going to love you no matter what. And you're serving 90%, and you're dissolving, dissipating, allowing to fall away, and firing the other 10% that automatically does not resonate with you. Feel protected and promoted no matter what the outcome is. And if the outcome is hate, fear, doubt, insecurity, attacks, judgments, and conditions, so be it. That just means you have a bigger 90%. That's what they mean by, any news is good news, meaning, anyone that's talking about you is good. Yeah, because it represents how many people are listening and engaging and learning from you. If you have one, there's another 9 that are in your community, and you can serve that community. I want everyone to know those people that are afraid of the million, they're afraid of those just conditions, doubts, and fears, you're going to limit the size of your community, the size of people that you can help and can help you, that know people that you can help and that you know that can help them. I encourage you to learn to understand and appreciate the 10% that hate you no matter what, and serve the 90% that are listening, learning, and loving what you're saying. 10% of those people, by the way, will love you no matter what you do. Thank you so much, Elevate Awareness, Justin. It's great to hear from you. Reach out. Let's do some more content together. Let's elevate our community. David@dmeltzer.com. Nick of time, what do we got next?
Well, we're knocking on the door of the fourth quarter here, so how about I go ahead and reset the room quickly, take one more question from online, and then we should have enough time to wrap up with 2 here live on Clubhouse. How does that sound?
Sounds beautiful. Thank you.
So quickly resetting the room here. As I mentioned, we are entering the fourth quarter of the Power Hour with David Meltzer in the Breakfast of Champions room here on Clubhouse. And of course, as today has been filled with abundance to say the least. But if you have any additional questions, we should have enough time. I said 2 more. So please continue to request to join the stage, and we'll aim to bring you up. And continue to invite and share the room with all of your friends, family, colleagues, anybody that you believe would benefit from this incredible conversation. And if you aren't able to get your questions answered today, again, want a copy of David's book or to join in one of the upcoming cities he will be traveling to, all you have to do is email him directly, david@dmeltzer.com. All right, David, I will turn it back over to you to go ahead and take a question from online.
Thank you so much. Here's the question. What are some efficient tips, which is great, right? That's time related, for becoming a better communicator in front of bigger crowds? Well, first of all, know your lessons and stories. That'll make you more efficient in communicating the lessons that you want. Also, remind the audience of how you would like them to capture those lessons. So one of the things that I tell people right up front is only write down or only capture the lessons that resonate with you. And then also in communicating, focus in on, draw energy from, in a big crowd, individuals that are resonating with you. So when I was in Mexico City with Bill and Brady and Chicharito, it was 10,000 people in a convention center. And so what I did is pick 3 people, 1 to my left, 1 in the center, and 1 in the right, that were resonating with me. They were in the 10%. They were going to love me no matter what I had. They were smiling and cheering and just, all over it. And so in order to facilitate the flow while I was speaking in front of a super large crowd, I'm feeding off of and connecting to 1 person to the left, 1 in the center, and 1 in the right. And so as a human being, want validation and response, it was coming from someone that loved everything I said. So the rest of the 9,997 people in the convention center did not impair or interfere with my flow, because no matter whether I looked to the left and walked to the left, whether I was center stage and looked to center stage, or walked to the right and looked to the right, I was in the flow. Someone that was resonating me with no matter what, that loved me no matter what. And it just increased my intuition, and it increased my intelligence, and it increased my inspiration, which then had a greater statistical success to, as you state, efficiently communicate with a bigger crowd. So utilize those tricks, know your lessons and stories. Go ahead and find the left, the center, and the right. Stay in the flow. Download all that you need, which, by the way, is why I, for years, been figuring out why the only time I ever had interference with my flow on a stage, or anxiety or fear, was when I didn't have a clock. And I realized that it was because of being in the flow, because of channeling through my intuition, intelligence, and inspiration what I was doing on a stage. And so what would happen is, as I would find the person to the left, center, or the right, and get into the flow, there's no time. There's no man-made construct of time. So when I would come out of the flow on stage, I didn't know if 5 minutes had passed, 15 minutes had passed, 35 minutes had passed. So if I didn't have a clock, I would get super nervous knowing how much time do I have left, getting anxious and worried, which then interfered with my flow, which then interfered with my intuition, my inspiration, and my intelligence, which then created a poor performance, and the lessons didn't resonate with as many people as they should. So that's why I needed a clock. It didn't help me just because someone in the back of the room held up 5 minutes left. That wouldn't help me because I'd already hit a point where I didn't know whether there's 5 minutes left or 15 minutes left on a stage. All right, Nick, why don't we take someone here on the BWC, the Breakfast of Champions. Come and see us here downtown San Francisco today at noon, the Westin St. Francis on Powell. Just meet us in the lobby at noon to do Q&A of the day, to ask me anything, the BYOQ. Bring your own questions. I'll bring the answers and introduce you to people that can help you. We're here, Ryan, today, having a great time in San Francisco. We'll be home at a reasonable time to have family Friday night, which is one of my favorite nights that we can have. Go ahead, Nick. Who's up next?
Of course, and we have one of our, I don't mean to prioritize or, give any special treatment to anybody, but one of our favorite members here on Clubhouse in terms of the Breakfast with Champions, the one and only Ron, who has been patiently waiting. So Ron, happy Friday. It's always great to see you. And please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
That was nice, Nick. Thank you. So, hey, first of all, thank God for heated seats. It's 28 degrees here in New Jersey. I was able to take a walk with you guys, so I'm back in my Jeep here. Dave, you don't have to worry about me. I'm always 100% loving you, buddy. So I want to say a shout out to Nick and Mike and Colleen and Raluca. That Dave, however you're mentoring these guys, it's just great. They're always there for us. So I just want to thank them. So that leads me into what I want to say, and it's weird what you're talking about today because I had a coach, one of my employees, who has an issue with lateness and really screwed up yesterday where I was on the verge of just letting her go. I did tell her to go home because she kind of just screwed up the whole day. But I thought about it overnight and my partner about it, and we put her on a 30-day plan, trying to coach her. I actually gave her your book, Dave, and I actually asked her yesterday, have you read the book? She goes, I don't even know what I did with it. And so she does good work when she's in my kitchen cooking, and but just getting her there is half the battle. And so I figured, let me just give her the 30 days. I'm trying to go through the training, Dave, that you're teaching us, and then all the stuff that I learned in Starwood when I did the Six Sigma training. I was actually a sous chef at that Westin where you're at today about 11 years ago.
Nice.
But my question to you, Dave, is you have to coach one of your team or an employee, and it might be in the back of your mind that you might want to let them go. Is the decision that you make on your own, or you maybe talk to your wife about it, or you have a bigger team like an HR team? With my business, it's me and my partner, and I don't have like an HR team to go to. I just go through my training that I had when I worked for Starwood and stuff. And I had a mentor once that told me when I used to beat the hell out of a guy all the time for just being late. This is when I worked at the hotel. It was simple, not melting the cheese. I was always rating them up, and the GM of the hotel, who was a mentor of mine, said, these guys hate you. You just beat them up. I said, it's always late. He goes, find out why he's late, and let's see if we can help him. And the guy is the same kind of mindset as you, Dave. Is just kind of putting the ego aside. But I was just wondering, how do you handle something like that if you have somebody on your team that you really like, but you have to let them go, or you might do you make that decision on your own, or do you consult somebody?
Yeah, so I make the ultimate decision, which is something that's going to change. My CEO and my president, Mike, is my CEO and Colleen is my president. I'm grooming them to make those decisions. So everyone in my company has a mentee. And so whoever that person is mentored by has incredible influence on whether or not to put someone on a performance improvement plan. And that's exactly what you did to this employee, is a 30-day performance improvement plan that says, here's an area in which we need to work on in order to facilitate you providing the value that's equal to what I'm paying you or greater. And you know, the subtleties of success of being late is incredible. It's interesting because Nick at Time started traveling with me, and he doesn't have Clear and he doesn't have TSA. And what's happening is we're getting to the airport and the crowd getting bigger at the airport, and he doesn't have time to board the plane with me in Group 1. He's in Group 9, and all of a sudden, because he doesn't have TSA, doesn't have Clear, he then gets in Group 9 and they make him check his bag. Then we waste an hour at the airport, and it's just unacceptable in what I do and how I do it, time being my love language, as well as how I facilitate being productive, accessible, and gracious. And it just doesn't work. And so I met with Nick last night and said, hey man, we need to figure this out, meet you where you're at. You have this many days in order to fix this issue, or else I'm gonna have to pick somebody else to travel with you, or you're gonna be stuck someday because I'm just going to leave and you're gonna have to figure out, you know, and if you miss what we need to be done, it's gonna be a huger or a bigger issue. So I facilitate and I talk to everybody in my organization. Now, emotionally, that's just performance improvement, right? Someone's late, I can't get them to be on time. I put them on performance improvement plan. We both are on performance improvement because I'm part of the problem. If I can't facilitate giving you the tools to be on time, then I'm not doing my job and you're not doing yours, or it's just not a good fit and you're not ready to make that change. And I'm gonna have to find someone that can show up on time, because there's too many, as you know, subtleties of success, the exponentiality. When someone's late, it's a snowball effect of interference and disease compared to ease. Being on time is crucial, especially when you're a student of the calendar, especially when you want to be accessible and gracious. It's just probably one of the most destructive qualities of a business. You did mention something interesting. Do I talk to my wife? I talk to my wife about anything emotionally bothering me. And I will tell you that we have moved on from some of the more integral players in our business family. And the only issue I had was the emotional issue, because I know, and to be very vulnerable and illuminate, I know that every employee that lies, cheats, steals, manipulates, or does not perform to the level that their capability is there, that I want more for them than they want for themselves. But emotionally, I know one thing, that I have failed them. I have failed them because I know how to be on time. And I have failed them because I am incapable of mentoring, teaching, or coaching them to be on time. Mentoring is, look, I'm always on time and I can teach you step by step how to be on time. That's called mentoring. Teaching is explaining how I'm on time and giving all those things like, hey, Nick, let's get TSA. And while we're waiting for TSA, let me pay for Clear so that you can skip the line, because that's the problem right now. And coaching is bringing the best out of them so they want to change. They actually want to read the book, not I don't know what I did with the book. And I know that I failed this person. And I have given it a certain amount of time to heal. And if I can't heal it, then I have to move on, and so do they. And it's better for both of us until they get into a position of mindset, heart set, and handset to do what it takes in order to effectuate the productivity, accessibility, and gratitude that I'm paying for. And so I talk to my wife about the emotional side of me failing these people, me failing my mission of empowering others to empower others, to be happy, to make a lot of money by being on time, help a lot of people by being on time, and having a lot of fun by being on time. Because as aggravating it is for you, every time she shows up late, it's even more of an interference to her. And feeling bad, right? Feeling bad makes no one feel good, and feels bad and you feel bad and nobody feels good. And remember, it's about enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit of our potential. And so, yes, do the performance improvement plan. Yes, ask the people to help you within the organization of what they think, and then any of the emotional aspects, because your family member does not know the fact. You can't articulate all the facts. You can't remember all the facts. You don't know all the facts, but your family member can emotionally help you with a better place, a better position, or a better situation to accelerate, aggregate, and compound exponentially the outcomes in the trajectory or aim towards something bigger and better, to make more money, help more people, and have more fun, which is what Chefs for Seniors is all about, right? I can't use a better illustration to people. You want a business that makes a lot of money, helps a lot of people, and you can have a lot of fun. Chefs for Seniors, eating people who can't feed themselves. What an amazing business. It's, with the number one need next to hydration, which is included just for seniors. We hydrate and feed people. They die if they don't get drink. They die if they don't get food. And you are making money, helping people, and having fun, providing that to people that can't provide it to themselves. Thank you, Ron. We got to jump because I know my boy Ramon, he likes to keep it on the TikTok. We were talking about being on time. It's straight up 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, nick of time. Go ahead and close out the room. Come see me in San Francisco, David@dmeltzer.com. Be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. We're here every day, especially Fridays, with our weekly training. Nick of time, close out the room on time. Thank you, everyone. It's been Friday Training, over 24 years of training. It's BYOQ. Bring your own questions. I'll bring the answers. Let's build a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. If you want a book and you're not just going to set it aside and not know where the book is, email me, David@dmeltzer.com. That's right. I will sign the book. I will send it to you. I will pay for shipping and the book. I promise you it will impact your life for the better. And it's free. David@dmeltzer.com. If you want to know where we're going to be, we're here in San Francisco today at noon, meet up. We're in San Diego and in Vegas next week. Then we're in London. We are in Portugal, Madrid, and Malta the next week. And then back to Vegas again to film Office Hours Season 5. 12 more episodes coming your way on Apple TV, at the airports and hotel rooms. Come and see us. Come and be with us. VIP dinners, meetups, and even TV show. David@dmeltzer.com. If you want to be alerted to where we're at, this is how I stay on time and stay on place. 949-298-2905. 949-298-2905. We appreciate you. Reach out to us. Remember, be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Thank you. Thank you.